Russia offers Africa more military equipment and support. Wow. So this one that Russia is offering Africa, I'm sure just like Professor Pielo Lumumba, I think from Uganda or Kenya, said exactly that Africa is white man's farmland and are struggling to parcel it out. I know that the US is dragging to own some part of Africa, France, Germany, and the rest of Europe struggling to own some part of Africa. China also struggling, especially the coast of West Africa. China is fighting. And then Russia also trying to own some part of Africa. And I remember within the week, Putin said that any African nation that is ready to disentangle itself from the influence of the West, they are ready to offer support to such countries. And following that statement, we have seen that they are offering more military equipment to African nations. And this is just shortly after Putin visited the military administration or the military junta in Burkina Faso. Okay, so what does all of this mean? And we know that Burkina Faso is one of the countries supporting the coup in Niger Republic, saying that if ECOWAS and AU or anybody enters Niger Republic to invade it with the military, they will treat it as war and they will fight it out dirty. Okay, so with all of this happening, it is getting glaring and obvious that Russia supports that military takeover in Niger Republic. And following the news that even the Russian Wagner PCM, the private military force in Russia, has also arrived the Niger Republic to protect the military junta there. So let's see what Russia is offering Africa. What equipment are they offering Africa now? So Russia's Army Games, okay, fact sheet publicly distributed at the Centrally Coordinated Information Bureau documents documented an increase in annual purchase of military equipment by foreign clients, including African countries. So our monitoring and research showed that Russia has traditionally maintained good relationship with North Africa countries, okay, especially Algeria and Egypt. And Algeria is also one of the countries that vow to support Niger Republic to fight it out. Besides that, Central African Republic and Republic of Mali are its favorite partners after signing bilateral agreement on military technical cooperation. Inside Africa, many French-speaking countries' relations have recently become strained with France due to multiple factors, including rift between Russia and France. There are several indications that Russia has now embarked on fighting neo-colonial tendencies in Africa. Russia has been keen to offer military support, including through selling advanced weapons and military technology to those countries it considered allies in Africa and further in Asia and Latin America. Now, during this year's Army Games held in Kubinka, which is located outskirts of Moscow, the Russian Defense Ministry officials held separate talks with a number of participating African countries on strengthening their defense capabilities as part of military technical cooperation. Now, according to sources, about 10 African countries, including Algeria, Congo, Egypt, Nigeria, Sudan, and Zimbabwe, took part in the Army Games, and the Republic of Mali and the Central African Republic, where several hundreds of military instructors from Russia's private military firm Wagner Group were participated in the Army Games. Brigadier General Mike Nicholas Sangu, Zimbabwean ambassador to the Russian Federation, said that during discussions that Russia's policy towards Zimbabwe has, over the last few years, evolved in a positive way. Zimbabwe government engagement with the Russian Federation is historically rooted in New States' contribution towards Zimbabwe attaining her freedom and nationhood in 1980. According to him, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, visited Moscow in 2019. Since then, there have been reciprocal visits by ministers and parliamentarians. In early June 2022, the chairperson of the Federal Council, Valentina Matvienko, visited Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe's military have participated in Army Games over the years and in the mid-August 2022 Army Games as well. So Russia will also help strengthen the army and enhance the effectiveness of its struggle against illegal armed groups in the French-speaking Republic of Mali in West Africa. As expected, Fomin noted during separate talks with Mali's Minister of Defense and Veterans Affairs, Colonel Sadio Kamara, the importance of Russian-Malian cooperation and confirmed the Russian Defense Ministry readiness to continue the constructive dialogue within the framework of the agreement signed on military technical cooperation. So in addition to above, Russia has been partnering with Algeria and hopes to step up arms sales to the North African country. Russia's Armed Force Chief of Staff told his visiting Algerian counterpart at the Army Games, "We pledge to inject new energy into our bilateral relations in the areas of military and technical cooperation," General Yuri Baluyevsky told Algeria's General Salah Gade, according to local news agencies. Wow. So with all of this happening, President Vladimir Putin explained that Russia is ready to distribute advanced weaponry across the globe, particularly in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Russia sincerely cherishes the historical, strong, friendly, truly trusting ties with the states of Latin America, Asia, and Africa, and is ready to offer its partners and allies the most modern types of weapons, Putin said at the opening of the Army 2022 International Military and Technical Forum outside of Moscow. Wow. So what is happening here is that Russia is ready to support Africa, especially against the Western allies and Western influence. And this could be probably the reasons we're having coups in Africa anyway. Okay, because the coups are actually getting so many, and there's likely more to come, or there are likely more to come. There are a few comments here. Somebody say they can't give Africa anything. It's only propaganda. They stole Ukrainian land, and now it has become big problem for them. Okay, it has become big problem for them. Okay, they don't know what to do. They are tired with the way they are looking for a way out of Ukraine. Ukraine had given them more than they can chew. Can you say, as Africans, we are sick and tired of the West and the Americans. We don't need them anymore. They have been abusing us for many years. Let them go to hell. Exactly. So what Russia is trying to do is to find a way to sever the tie between Africa and the West. The military equipment you said you are going to use in Ukraine within 2 weeks, your ministry of military operations would be over. Close to 2 years now, Ukraine flag are still flying every day, mouth to mouth. Yeah, but the case of Ukraine cannot be the case of Africa. That is the truth. There's no African country that can match Ukraine. Someone say give Africa weapons so that they can start their own war too. God, God go judge and continue. What is he saying? We as Africans, why not we solve our problems without these Europeans and the West? Putin and China are not a saver in Africa. They will exploit us as well, of course. Not the Russian military hardware when Ukraine the tear like pawpaw, make una no collect to, can you imagine? So the same way West is not to be trusted, Russia is also not to be trusted. That's what some people are saying here. But how can Africa break loose from all the influence of the West and the Europe and the East without their help? It's going to be a very difficult one because Africa is the most backward continent in the world. And the only reason Africa is so backward is because of the influence of these advanced countries, coupled with the foolish leaders we've had in as presidents, both in the past and present, as stooge, as puppets in the hand of the West, East, and all the first world countries. So thank you for listening. Let's have a comment. This is what Russia is saying, that they are ready to offer Africa military help going forward.